Thank you. Is there anybody here that doesn't feel they pay enough taxes? Is there anybody here that doesn't feel there's enough regulation in their lives? Is there anybody here that's disappointed that the government doesn't spend more of your money? Let me tell you, you can be a patriot, you can be a Republican, you can be a defender of the free enterprise system, or you can be an American. And I think we all have one thing in common. Washington is broken, and we have too much spending, too much regulation, too much taxation. And who's worried about jobs? Who's worried about protecting small business? I never dreamt I would stand at this age and be a candidate for the first time in my life. I've supported candidates in the Republican Party for 35 years while I've lived in Delaware. And I began to watch what was happening in Washington with great dismay. And I have to say it probably came to a head the night of the health care legislation, the vote. 2 a.m., my head falling asleep, watching what was going on, thinking, this is even more distressing than everything else that had been going on in Washington. And it was time for me to maybe do something, to consider doing something. So I called some of my friends and I said, put your friends together. I want to come down and talk to you. I want to listen. I want to hear. I want to speak. I want you to speak. I want to hear what the issues were. And in every single forum, taxes, regulation, spending, and jobs. When are we going to have our jobs protected? We all know that small business is the engine for growth. And without small business, America just can't be what we've grown accustomed to it being. I grew up with an America that I respect and that I love and had a wonderful opportunity. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My grandparents came over from the Ukraine without a thing, wanting to have a better life. They settled in Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. My uncles were coal miners. My dad and mom independently went to New York to have an opportunity. And it was there they married, and my sisters and I, they gave us two things that they felt were the most important things. A very strong work ethic and a real value for education. And through that value for education and jobs and scholarships, went to Georgetown University, went to the law school, then I went into the government. I worked at the SEC, I did trial tax work at the Department of Justice, worked in the Federal Energy Office, worked in the Department of Interior, and I worked in the Environmental Protection Agency. Bill Ruckelshaus had just started the agency, the water quality bill had just been passed, and he sent me to my office with the challenge to protect our environment from business. All the business leaders came in, Monsanto, this one, that one, everybody, and it didn't take too long for me to understand that there had to be someone to protect business from the environmentalists. And it was there that I took a look at government and said, if we don't have balance, if we don't have balance in our regulators, we're going to destroy everything that we stand for. How many of us have ever had a business deal that hasn't been good for both sides? If it's not good for both sides, it doesn't work. There's absolutely no reason to go ahead with it.